Welcome to another episode of Budget Conscious Construction. Your host Victor here, trying to help you get some things done on budget as an owner builder. So today, what I have is we're going to talk about putting together a lumber package, and as I'm going to always say, stick around because I'm going to give you something about getting that material list for free. Hopefully, I can throw it out there and nobody's heard of it or they're not aware of it, especially if you're new to building. I'm going to throw it to you. So, we're going to talk about getting that lumber package. We're also going to talk about designing our home, something that you probably do every single day and you walk past every single day that you just don't think nothing about it. Let's get into it. So, when you want to design your own home, you could go out and buy a plan. The problem that I noticed with a lot of times when going out trying to buy my own plan, and I did, my first plan I actually purchased. I purchased a plan. A friend of mine purchased the plan, and we both spent money really because the plan came with a material list. I'm in construction, and even I did not really put these two together. This is where it comes very handy. It comes very handy when you have good friends, mentors that kind of help you stay on budget. It worked for me very flawlessly. I'm sure this will work across the country. Be able to use friendship to your advantage as knowing that good friends provide good solid foundation when they know what they're talking about for you to start on and you're not having to pay them for it, right? When they know, let me go say that again. When they know what they're talking about, it's priceless. So even though I'm in the industry and I'm working it, I've somehow overlooked this. It's probably because I had never built my own house before. Let's just be honest with you. So let's start by saying you're trying to get a plan together. You went online and you looked and you haven't really found anything that suits what you want to do. In order for you to say, hey, you know what? I live in a house and I'm not happy with the layout, or I've lived in a house that I would prefer to have a layout more towards. How about I just draw my own? And that is what I'm going to encourage some of you to do. Some of you, you don't have time for. You're not going to sit down and sketch out. I understand that. Find a plan online. And I also want to give you an idea with these plans that there's a portion of it that you might not have to buy. So stick around. So hopefully this saves you money. If you're outgoing and you're sitting at home, or part of your work is from working from home, you go out to friends' houses and stuff, don't be scared to take a measuring tape with you. You're at home, if it's 2 stories, put your 2 boxes on a piece of paper. Nice size boxes. We're talking, 8 by 8 size boxes. And I'm saying 8 inches by 8 inches size boxes on a piece of paper. Do a couple of them. If it's 3 stories, put 3 boxes on different papers. And then I want you to start designing your own home by just simply drawing those boxes in as to where you want your bedrooms, your bathrooms, your closets to be. Leave space for the hallway. When you get all that done, those numbers are going to be described by what you've seen. If you was, and I'm saying this from experience, I would work in different houses and I'd pull a measure tape out and I'd look around. You know what? I like the size of this bedroom, and I would measure it. That's exactly what I done. Now, here's where we go to save money. Here's where we go to stay on budget so that we're not spending ridiculous amount of money on an architect when I don't need it for my particular bill. Your particular bill, you might have some crazy stuff in it that you might need an architect to keep your head on straight. For my budget, I could not afford an architect to just do everything for me. So I basically scaled mine out, gave him a good starting point. Then I went out and I took pictures of houses, or I found houses on the internet that had the look that I wanted. This is where in my first video I had said you want to check these surroundings and make sure whatever you're building is going to be somewhat similar to the neighborhood. This is why my first plan did not work. After I had bought it, this is the house I'm going to build. I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere. That did not apply because I ended up buying a piece of property that was wider than what I expected. My plan was for a narrow lot house. So I ended up stretching my house, twice the size as far as what I was looking to do. It's okay because I adjusted. I looked around in the surroundings of my new piece of property that I actually purchased, and I made an evaluation. And I did go to the town meetings. I done these things that I'm telling you to do because they're very important. So what happened was I looked at it and I said, okay, this works. So now I'm looking to build a house that is somewhat going to fit the neighborhood. So sketch out your boxes, fill it in with your little 16 by 16 bedroom, 10 by 9 bathroom or whatever, closet. Don't be scared to take a tape with you everywhere and just find those sizes that you want. Put them on this piece of paper for each room, for each level. Now, find an architect. This, if you want to save some money, find an architect that is going to draw a plan and he doesn't care about giving you a bill sheet, a material list. We already know it costs more money sometimes for them to give that to you, even if it's just something that they put in their computer and they shoot it out and charge you an extra $300 for or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers, so don't hold me to those numbers. I went to an architect who just drew. He said, yes, I can give you a material sheet, but most everybody builds houses different. So I don't really engage in that. Well, that benefited me because it was a lot more affordable for me to just get a nice rendering of the outside, what the inside is supposed to look like as far as my squares. He told us what we could do and what we couldn't do. It worked out great. So I'm happy with the results of that. So after we done that, we went and found a lumber salesman. And this is something that I want to give to you. This is another tidbit or whatever you want to call golden nugget that I want to give to you for sticking around. Find yourself a lumber salesman. Make friends with him. Yes, I'm going to say that in every video. As the guy that doesn't always get out and just make friends, get an understanding with them, take them your drawing, and they will now print out a bill sheet for you, a material list. If you're buying the material from them and their prices are competitive to any of the other stores, and we're not going to name names, that the stores everybody knows, I did not really go with them. I went with a smaller store, a hometown store, and their prices was better than the other stores. So it ended up benefiting me all around. And I did not have to pay for a material list. I repeat, I did not have to pay for a material list. My first plan I basically bought that plan just to get the material list. It can kind of be overwhelming. So what we did was we looked at it. We found one item. For us, it was OSB. We would go into the big box store and pay attention to that price as soon as we'd walk in. And once it dropped off a little bit, we would call them. But we technically only called our salesman and had 2 price adjustments within 6 months. Worked out great. It was not a panic situation. It was us simply realizing that the lumber prices had fallen off and we wanted to hit it as low as we possibly could. That might not work for everybody, but pay attention and see if it's going up or going down. Even if you're not buying at that moment, it's good to do. So thank you for watching. The next video we'll be talking about getting good subs. So stick around. Thank you.
This budget's so tight the goats are saving cheese, mama.